Good afternoon, everybody. It's the 3rd of September. It's spring 2020. And for the first time in 3 days, it really feels like spring. I hope you all are fabulous, that you are being creative and that you are painting loose a storm. Apparently, there has been quite a few storms in the Cape. I hope you all are still safe and warm. Today's session is based on creativity, having fun, unleash your creativity, not to be worried of making mistakes, because we are going to paint onto a canvas. We are going to see it as an artistic session where you can make mistakes and where things don't need to be perfect because it's art. We are pre-recording this session because we are worried that due to load shedding, we will be right in the middle of our load shedding schedule when this video is meant to be live. But please ask your questions. I'll be on Facebook and ready to assist and help. We are going to paint onto a canvas, and yes, Tjhoko can work on a canvas, and this is why, and one of the reasons or uses for the 28mm sample pots. First to test the color, but also to have fun and experiment with various colors. I'm going to share some ideas. I'm going to share some tips. We all can be artists in your own home. And we can all be cooks in our own homes. Believe me, we all can be cooks. I'm not a great cook, and my family eats every evening. Tjhoko actually just shown Daniel a picture of one of the meals he had recently. So don't be worried. Don't judge yourself. Take off your shoes. Feel the creativity. Feel the new season that's approaching us, and maybe a new season in your life. Okay, so what I have done, and tip maybe, if you don't have a clear picture in your head, is to find a picture of something that you like. So I just photocopied a very creative, abstract piece of art. So it's not painted by a specific artist, but I'm going to use this as inspiration for what I want to create on my canvas. It doesn't need to be the same. What it does, it guides you on the color scheme you're going to work with, what you like. If you like something different, do something different. See this as inspiration and do something that you like and that suits your preference. So how I'm going to start the session, I've already painted matte black, just a section here in the center of my canvas. What I'm going to create, I actually don't know at this stage. So you are going to be creating with me. I'm going to use some masking tapes, and during this session I'll also be sharing some creative ideas and paint techniques. So Maestro is busy, as you can hear. I'm going to use one of the Tjhoko stencils, and I'm just going to stencil a section here at the top. So something that I can advise is to use masking tape to secure your stencil. Stencil glue sometimes leave a residue. You don't need to prepare your canvas. If you want to first paint it a base color in one of the Tjhoko colors, you can do it. This is very creative and very unplanned. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a stencil brush, but I'm going to use a larger stencil brush. I'm just going to take this paintbrush out of the paint. So I'm using a stencil brush. My stencil is secured with a masking tape. I just dip the edge of my stencil brush in the paint. I remove excess paint, especially around the sides where the paint loves to gather. So the great secret and success with stenciling is to use as little paint as possible. I press the stencil flat with my free hand. Sorry, I'm working with a canvas. straight up, so I'm pressing hard. Circular movements, little paint in the stencil. Work can't be a disaster, and it's art. If there is anything that's a disaster, see it as art. Okay, and I'm going to remove the stencil, so it's not a solid piece of stencil work. And what I'm going to do, let's use a different design on the corner, here at the bottom, this side, and let's secure it as well. I'm going to continue with the black, matte black. So Tjhoko is a very versatile paint. You can paint furniture with it without priming, sanding, just clean well with lacquer thinners. You can paint onto fabric, you can paint your canvases, you can paint your paint pots, your plant garden pots like we've done last week. You can paint your wall tiles, just make sure you clean it well with lacquer thinners. There are various videos on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/Tjhoko Paint. And you can see all the videos that we've done in the past. You can paint onto walls with Tjhoko. And Tjhoko also has a wall paint. If you want to paint larger pieces of wall space and you love the Tjhoko colors, we do have a wall paint in the Tjhoko colors. So this is what I'm going to do for now with stencil work. And what I'm going to do next, and sorry for Maestro Sparky and being a complete very naughty boy, I'm going to use our stencil of Paris paste next. So this is a paste that we actually use to give our stencil work a raised effect. But it's a lovely medium to work with on canvas as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop some of the stencil of Paris, and even then the black to have a dark grey. I'll mix the paint in there as well. So I'm going to mix various Tjhoko Paint colors in my stencil of Paris paste. Colors which I'll be using is Nade. So let's mix that one first. And very little. I'm using the sample pot and really just a drop of paint. You will see how quickly the paste absorbs the paint, but also you have freedom. If you want the color to be darker, you will simply just add more paste. So let me just add a drop more. And this will give some texture to your canvas once we spread this onto our canvas. So there is Nade mixed in well. The next color I'll be using is Simon Says. So this is a colorful canvas. It is spring. We can bring some color to our lives. Let's mix it and see if we want to add more. And now I definitely feel like adding almonds, aubergine. The Tjhoko color palette is so beautiful. It's exquisite. If you look at the colors, you actually just fall in love with them all. And that's why the sample pots are really amazing, because you can experiment with the various colors and see which colors are your favorite before you maybe start painting a large furniture piece. Just experiment a bit first. first. And now my last color I'm going to add is True Blue. And I can maybe at a later stage incorporate some Holiday Coral and definitely Cloud White right at the end. What white does to a painting, it gives it a feel of liveliness and it bounces back, reflects some light. So we'll definitely add white right at the end. Okay, so here's my color palette and I'll just mix in some black and some paste as well. I don't want anything to go to waste. You can keep this in an airtight container afterwards, just separately all the colors, and then reuse it again. Just make sure that the air doesn't contaminate it. If it is in contact with air too long, it will dry out. So store it in an airtight container. And this is just maybe for a shadow effect, maybe here and there later. Okay, and now we are going to start having fun. I'm going to use my paint scraper and I'm going to play. So play with me and hopefully this gives you some inspiration. So I'm using normal paint scrapers and I'm going to start to scrape the paste onto the canvas. And this takes a while to dry, so you have freedom to be creative, to spread it. And to blend it. Next to it, I'm going to add some blue over my piece that I have stenciled there. So it's just sitting there subtly at the back. And this is called art. I'm adding some yellow. Sorry for the noise, it's just the scraper that's moving on the canvas. Oopsie. And let's just put some grayness over here. And this can have meaning for you. Express yourself when you do this. Think of what you've been through and how you as a person maybe have changed. What inspiration you have found during this time. Oh, definitely some brightness, and I'm going to include it over there as well. And this can also be applied to a wall, to a furniture piece, a chest of drawers where you have very artistic drawers. So you pack the drawers tight next to each other and you do this entire technique on the drawers. Remove it while the paste is still wet. Allow them to dry separately and then move them into the frame. It definitely needs more color. I'm going to go with almond again. Looking anything like the picture I've printed, but it is my inspiration. paint your own piece of art. I've changed the colors first of all to have more vibrant colors. Danny's laughing at me. Danny, I wasn't trying to replicate it, okay? Just add something there. And now what I will do is I'll take the back of my artist brush and let's see if I remove it. If I don't like it, I'll change it again. But we are just going to make a pattern here in the center. This is super modern and only I will know what this means. Okay, but to me, this will have a meaning. And then the most important part, right at the end, you need to put your signature. And if you stand back and you feel that a tad of lightness is needed anywhere, I'll just incorporate some white here and there, straight from my Stencil of Paris jar, just to create a feel of light. And in less than 10 minutes, you have a piece of art. I hope this inspires you to create. See this as a season to be creative and to create. And I can't wait to see you all again soon. Enjoy spring. Bye.